I want to join your sorority, you can get into a dark hole of creeping doing that, making yourself look like a baddie.
Count 1, 2, 3, and don't you stop the music, get into it, won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it, you can do it, won't you dance with me? Move your down now, we let go, sunset high and our bodies low.
Hey y'all, what is up? It is Marissa, Nicole, and welcome back to my channel. You may know me as my drifting desk, where I help you conquer college, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today in the sorority realm. If you're about to go to a southern school here in the fall, more than likely you're about to have sorority recruitment as soon as you get to school. There are some schools who do recruitment in the spring or in like January time. My school is one of those schools. Unfortunately, I wish we recruited in the fall where it was nice and warm and sunny and beautiful, but we get to recruit in the middle of the snow, which is not fun. But seeing as most of the schools usually recruit in the fall, I wanted to get some sorority information out to y'all over the summer so that way you are prepared for recruitment. And so today's video is basically how to get prepared for recruitment. That's literally it. I want to give you some key points of what you should be doing before recruitment, things to think about before recruitment. That way when recruitment comes, you feel prepared and ready as much as you can be. Before we dive on into the video, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing down below. I do tons of videos about college, shopping, DIYs, vlogs, or sorority life like this one. And so if that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe down below. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Before I start reading off all the things that you need to do to get prepared for recruitment, I do just want to say that they're really in no particular order. There's no order of importance that I've put on here. It's basically just these are my key tips for you to be as prepared as you can be for recruitment coming up. One thing that I would recommend you do before recruitment starts is to do a social media clean out. What I mean by that is to scroll through your social media accounts. That's your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, if you have a Tumblr, literally anything that you have that's social media, and give it a deep clean. I want you to look at it as if you are somebody else and really see what you're posting. When someone looks at my profile, what can they gather about me? You know, what am I portraying myself as? What kind of message am I sending, if there is a message? Does this depict who I am or my interests? Like, what is it really telling about you? Because I can tell you that sororities do look at PNMs, which is a potential new member, which are gonna be you guys. We look at the social media account sometimes if we're, you know, starting to go through girls and we're trying to make decisions, and possibly if we don't remember a girl too well, we'll look her up on social media, and that way we'll be like, oh yeah, that was her, and we'll keep doing a little digging. And so what do you want us to see when we're visiting your social media accounts? You may want to delete old pictures, you may want to edit some captions, you may want to just spice it up in general. Like if you look at it and you're just really not amused by it, or you're not kind of inspired by it, maybe you want to start, you know, revamping your social media, really starting to do that Instagram theme, making yourself look like a baddie, whatever you want to do. I would start thinking about that stuff now before recruitment comes, so you have some time to work on your social media presence before sororities will start to look at your social media. This one is a no-brainer, but some people don't do it, and I highly recommend to research the sororities that are on your campus and see which ones you are automatically drawn to. And I say that carefully because I don't want you to get ideas in your head about these sororities before you see them. I mean, I want you to research their core values. Like, what does this sorority stand for? Not so much as this chapter, but when you're looking at Tri Delta, Gamma Phi Beta, Alpha Phi, Alpha Z Delta, Zeta Tau Alpha, all these different sororities, what do they stand for? Why were they founded? What are their core values? What are their interests? What are their, you know, important things about the sorority? That's what I want you to look up, because that's gonna kind of give you an idea if you can see yourself at home there, or if you're interested in their different things. You know, look up their philanthropies. That's gonna be something you're gonna be heavily invested in once you join that sorority. And if you can't really connect with that philanthropy, that may be a problem. So while you're researching these sororities, look up what's important to them, look up their philanthropy, see what they stand for without being biased about them. I don't want you to look at a sorority or a chapter on your campus and already get an idea like, nope, I don't want to be there, those girls are stuck up, oh, these girls are that, because I can almost guarantee that your assumptions about them are wrong, and I don't want you to go in there with the wrong idea. You should be going into recruitment with an open mind about every chapter that's on your campus. And so research at a bigger level what that sorority is, not so much as that chapter, and that would be my advice to you. If you do have time, depending on when you do recruitment, I suggest getting to know some of the girls in the chapters. That can be done through social media, so if you go to, you know, that chapter's Instagram account, you are able to see the pictures that they've posted, and typically they'll tag the girls in the chapters in them, so you're able to kind of click on that picture, click on that girl, and scroll through her social media accounts and you can do that. You can get into a dark hole of creeping doing that. And you know, getting a feel for these girls. Can you see yourself hanging out with them? Can you see yourself on that level? Can you see yourself being best friends with these girls? Do they have interests similar to you? Are there some girls with your same major? Are there girls that look like you? Like, what are you, I guess, wanting out of a sorority? You can kind of see that through social media if you're wanting to get to know some of the girls. But again, like I just said, don't come up with any hard ideas because social media is a facade. Social media is not the truth. So do not base your whole opinions on a chapter off of what you see on social media, but it can be a good starting point. Before recruitment, if different chapters are holding events of some sort, I recommend going to those to get to know some of the girls. There may be tablings, or they're holding a philanthropy event, or just, you know, hanging out. If you see a girl on campus wearing their letters, you could go up and talk to them and just ask them how they are, you know, be friendly in class. You don't have to be so like, I want to join your sorority, but just be, you know, hi, how are you? And just see how they are with different people, see how they act in class, like get to know the girls, because that's of course who you're going to be spending your time with, and you want to know if you're going to vibe and mesh with those girls. As I'm giving you all this advice, I cannot give you advice on the process of recruitment at your specific school. They are run differently everywhere, and so I would recommend your next step being researching and educating yourself on the process of recruitment at your school. Find out when it is, if you have to sign up for it, if you have to pay for it, how many days is it going to be, are there different rounds of recruitment, which we call different days? If there are different days or rounds, which day is that round? You know, is there a philanthropy day, a sisterhood day, a meet the chapters day? Typically there's different names for every day that you'll go through recruitment, and all of these are significant because that's kind of based around the different information that you're going to be getting from each sorority on that day. And so at Ohio State, we have meet the chapters, philanthropy, sisterhood, and preference rounds. And then we have bid day after recruitment. And so at meet the chapters, that's typically our time to let you guys get to know us. You meet the chapters. You're gonna go through every sorority house. You're gonna meet every chapter. Typically you'll talk to 1, 2, maybe 3 different girls in that sorority, and you'll get to know them. You'll get to ask them questions, and they'll ask you some baseline questions about who you are, just so you can get a face-to-face view of each chapter. Then you move on to philanthropy round, which at that round you're gonna be learning all about each sorority's philanthropy and what they're raising money for. What are they working for all year, every year? How much money did they raise in their past philanthropy events? What are some of their key signature philanthropy events that they put on every year? That's the kind of information that you're gonna be getting from us. And then you have sisterhood round. And sisterhood round is where you'll really get to know the sisters. We're gonna be showing you videos about our sisterhood, and that's typically where you'll see them all on social media and on YouTube, where you can look up, like, you know, Alpha Phi at Ohio State recruitment videos, and you'll be able to see their sisterhood videos and their recruitment videos. We'll typically show those. You'll get to know even more of our sisters, know funny stories, and you know how we became a part of this chapter. What is our like story for being in our chapter? You get to go know them on a, you know, more intimate level, and you're really getting into the nitty-gritty of that sorority. It's a very magical, like long but intense day. It's my favorite day of recruitment. This past recruitment, I was actually sisterhood chair, and I got to plan that whole round of recruitment for sisterhood day, and it was so much fun. So I got to choose our outfits that all of the girls wore, the decorations for the house, the food, the drinks that we were serving to PNMs, different questions that my girls definitely had to ask the PNMs. Like, it was just so great to plan that day, and sisterhood round is definitely always going to be my favorite. I do have a video about last year's recruitment that includes every day of recruitment, as well as, you know, a lookbook of outfits that we wore, the decorations for each day, and some questions that you can expect to be asked on each day of recruitment. I will link it up above and down below if you want to watch it. I think it would be super helpful to watch it before recruitment, even if you're not at Ohio State, but it kind of gives you an idea of what recruitment is like on the flip side. You know, what is it like on our end recruiting you guys? Like, what are we wearing? What are we asking you? The different decorations that we go through. I think it's a fun video, so if you want to give it a look, definitely do that. And then once you know how recruitment works at your school, based on the different days, the different rounds, different expectations, there's probably going to be like a dress code that you're expected to dress with for each day or round. I would definitely start looking for your outfits early. You don't want to be rushing 2 days before recruitment to get all of your outfits together. That is a huge part of recruitment because it's all about first impressions, and when you walk through that door, you're more than likely going to keep talking to a new sister every round or every day, and so you're making a first impression every round of recruitment, and you want to show up looking your best. And so you really want to take the time time to find outfits that complement your body shape in the season that we're in, colors that look good on you, things that speak to your personality. We really want to see you shine through what you're wearing, and so really take the time to find really good outfits to wear for recruitment. So I would start ahead of time looking for those outfits, making sure you have everything squared away, whether that's accessories or jewelry, figuring out what hairstyles you want to wear for each round, makeup looks, trying all of these things out before recruitment. That way on the day of, you're not trying to throw together an outfit, you're not trying a makeup look for the first time ever. You are calm, cool, and collected because you've been planning for this day for a long time now. The last piece of advice that I have for you to get ready for recruitment is kind of what I mentioned at the beginning, but I really want to make this a big point, and that is to please have an open mind going into every house, every chapter, every sorority that you're gonna meet, because you don't know those girls, and you really never will unless you're in that chapter. You're gonna get a really in-depth look at us through recruitment, but even through recruitment, you know, we're also on our best behavior. We're trying to make a good first impression to you, and those little quirkiness, the fun stuff, the fun sides of us aren't really gonna come out unless you're a part of our chapter. And so take everything with a grain of salt through recruitment, and please have an open mind going to every chapter. You know, like, assess them and rank them however you want to do it in your own process, but please just do it without any kind of lingering thoughts in your mind, like, ooh, I've heard bad things about this chapter, I already know that I don't want to be in this chapter. Like, I would highly recommend not going into recruitment like that, because you never know where you're gonna end up, you never know where you're gonna call home, and you may miss out on a great house because you may have heard one bad rumor that wasn't even true. And that is just my advice from one sister to another. And if you're watching this and you're already a part of Greek life and you're just kind of watching it for fun, I want to challenge you to also have an open mind against other chapters and other sororities on your campus, because I know there can be some tension between chapters in terms of hearing rumors or making sure that you're wanting to be better than another chapter, etc. And you could start to believe, you know, oh, that's the bad chapter, that's a problem chapter, oh, those girls are ugly, those girls are weird, like whatever you want to say about this other chapter. But please, I challenge you to give Greek life a better name, give them a better reputation, stop being catty, support other girls. We are all Greek life, we are all strong women. I wish that we would support one another and just be good and nice and kind to one another. And so if you're already in a sorority, try doing that with other chapters on your campus. If you're planning on going through recruitment, go into recruitment with an open mind and being nice and kind to every chapter that you come across, because all of those girls are there for the same reasons you are, and just in a different chapter. Sorry that I had to get a little melty on you right there, but I just really feel strongly about that point, and I want to make sure that gets across to you guys. I think it's so important to just go into recruitment blank slated, ready to learn everything that you can and meet all the girls that you can, and then making your decision based off what you've seen at recruitment rather than what you're seeing on social media or what you've heard on Greek Rank or whatever you're seeing anywhere else. Make your own decision. If you like this video and you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up. If you're already in a sorority, or if you have any other tips for anybody else, let me know down below. Help each other out. Of course, these are my top ones that I think everybody should kind of follow, but there's definitely probably more that you could do to get ready for recruitment. So let me know down below if you have any other suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe down below to hang out with me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you're in a sorority and you're just watching this, like, let me know what sorority you're in down below, or if you're in a specific sorority, you can tell me your chapter, what school you're in. I love having the commingling and the girls supporting girls between different chapters, obviously, as I just said. So sound off down below where you're from, represent your sorority. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.